Atlantic Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, presents the South Union Township Sports Network. Today via tape delay from the Thomas Landman Field, the home of the Laurel Highlands High School boys baseball team. The Mustangs take on the Belle Vernon Leopards. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Morozak with Tony Hanola and Jerry Dupay, and we welcome you aboard for today's high school baseball game. It's also senior day here for the Mustangs. South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith. And I'm Brian Morozak with Tony Hanola and Jerry Dupay. We'll be back with the lineups for both teams after these messages.
Good luck to the Mustangs from the South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Robert Schiffbauer.
Back here at Landman Field, the Laurel Highlands Mustangs hosting the Belle Vernon Leopards. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. The Leopards to come to bat here in the top half of the first inning. By the way, our lineups being brought to you by Senior Life Uniontown. Leading off and playing second base, number 27, Garrett Greco. Batting second, the center fielder, number 19, Logan Salega. Batting third, the shortstop, number 12, Josh Hoffman. In the cleanup spot and playing first base, number 16, Jordan Hartman. Batting fifth and pitching, number 40, Joe Sabalak. Batting sixth and catching, number 32, Colt Naylor. Batting seventh in right field, number 25, Max Godin. Batting eighth and in left field, number 24, Trevor Schrock. And batting ninth and playing third base, number 5, Nolan Labuda. Defensively for Laurel Highlands, Tony.
All right, for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, we have Richie Mihal starting in left field, Greg Lancaster in center field, Alec McClay getting the start today in right field. Third base will be Tanner Minio, shortstop Travis Sankovic, second base Josh Burns, first base Mason McManus, behind the plate Chad Petrus, and on the mound for the Mustangs today will be Ian Edenfield.
We'll have the first pitch on the way next year on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
We're back here on the South Union Township Sports Network. Now it's time for the national anthem, and we'll send it down to Lauren Schiffbauer.
We ask once we do our national anthem, we have one, if you would, to please, the players still remain in your places. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask if you would to please rise. And gentlemen, we ask if you would to please remove your hats in the singing of our national anthem by Laurel Highlands senior Lauren Schiffbauer.
Oh, sweet when you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we walked was so gallantly streaming, and the rockets sprinkler, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job there by Lauren Schiffbauer, another senior here on Senior Day. And Lauren actually headed to Temple next year, so congratulations to Lauren on a great career here at Laurel Highlands, and best of luck in the future.
Many people unknowingly have chronic liver disease and discover it during routine blood testing. Possible causes include alcohol, hepatitis C, fatty liver, and iron overload. If left unchecked, this can lead to cirrhosis or severe liver scarring. Offer the latest testing and treatment for chronic liver disease. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, finally ready to play some baseball here this afternoon. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs hosting the Belle Vernon Leopards. Laurel Highlands in their home whites, red numbers trimmed in blue. Belle Vernon in their away dark greens with the Vegas gold, gray pants. A little black trim in there as well, Tony Hinola.
And they look like they're ready to go. Their seniors got introduced, and everybody's happy, and perfect weather here today for this game, and be interesting to see what the Mustangs do, Brian. And Belle Vernon actually coming in here on a 4-game win streak, so the Mustangs picked a couple formidable foes here this week to get ready for the playoffs.
Of course, Laurel Highlands also trying to secure a first-round playoff bye. We know there'll be at least 3 byes in 5A, possibly 4. Trinity plays Montour later on tonight. If the Hillers win, that means there's going to be 13 playoff qualifiers out of 5A. If Montour wins, 12 playoff qualifiers, and thus that's going to affect the byes as well. If you have 13 teams in, 3 teams will receive first-round byes. If you have 12 in, they're going to have 4 byes. What do you think the Mustangs' odds are as a outright section champ at getting one of those byes?
Well, I think it's going to be pretty good, especially since they've only lost 1 game in conference, 2 games overall. But I would think that they're a very good shot to get a bye in the first round, and that would be good for the Mustangs. I mean, they've played a lot of games here the last couple of weeks, and I think even a couple of days off would help them out. Not that anybody's really hurt or anything like that, but just a couple of days actually to just work on some things and be ready to go whenever the time comes.
It also helps the pitching situation because generally the WPIL schedules first round and quarterfinal quarterfinal round games 2 days apart, thus not allowing a team to throw the same pitcher in the first round as they do in a quarterfinal round game. So if you are not playing a first round game, you have the option of saving your and utilizing your ace for the quarterfinal round. And if you do play a first round game, then you kind of have to think, do I want to throw my second guy first and then save your ace, which could be a little bit tricky at times.
Well, and we've seen that in the past, actually. You try to hold off your your number one starter for the second game, but you got to win to get there. So I would think that the Mustangs would start their ace come the first game.
Ian Edenfield set to go. First pitch misses low and inside to Garrett Greco, the leadoff batter for the Belle Vernon Leopards. Greco entering this game with a .419 average and 7 RBIs. 5'6", 130 freshman batting from the left side, puts it on the ground here, right back to Ian Edenfield, who makes a throw over to first in time to retire Greco 1-3 for the first out of this top half of the first inning. And you look at these first two Leopards batters. Greco, we mentioned, 5'6", 130 pounds. Logan Salega, who's batting second, 5'7", 133. But both these guys very productive so far this season. Salega batting .341 with 7 RBI. So they're not the biggest guys in the world, but they've certainly gotten the job done throughout the course of the season for the Belle Vernon Leopards.
I would agree.
Now Salega fouling off the first pitch there from Ian Edenfield. Edenfield getting the start today, but talking to Laurel Highlands head coach Scott DeBerry, said they'll likely use a couple of pitchers throughout the course of the day today. I would not be surprised if we see Dino Vecchiola get an opportunity to get a start either Tuesday or Wednesday. The Mustangs playing Uniontown tomorrow and then Hempfield on Wednesday as that one goes over to Sankovic, over to McManus to retire Salega 6-3, so 2 up, 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. And now Josh Hoffman, the Leopard shortstop, coming to the plate. Hoffman, a 5'9", 160 junior, batting .388, but he has some pop in his bat, 3 homers and 19 RBIs so far in the season for the junior shortstop.
Well, and to go along with the pop in his bat, Brian, he also leads the team with 10 steals. So he's pretty much the all-around player here for the Belle Vernon Leopards.
This might be a tough out here for the Mustangs throughout the course of the afternoon. Edenfield sent. First pitch on the way to Hoffman. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, the 19 RBIs are similar to what a lot of the guys here for the Mustangs have this year. But he's pretty much there's only 2 players here for Belle Vernon that have double figures in RBIs for the year.
Edenfield set now with the 0-1. Another breaking ball in there for a strike. Quickly 0-2. This top half of the first inning being brought to you by NovaCare Rehabilitation, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Edenfield 1 strike away from a 1-2-3. Top half of the first.
Yeah, nice curveball there by Edenfield on that last pitch.
Now the 0-2 on the way. Goes with a fastball. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Ian Edenfield retiring the side in order here in the top half of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Mustangs coming to the plate when we return here on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, the South Union Township Sports Network. It's the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
No runs for you, top of the first inning for Belle Vernon.
You don't have to travel to Pittsburgh to get good representation. We've been doing it since 1976. We've been successful. We can help you right here at home.
We know the nuances of the legal system in Uniontown in Fayette County. We know the nuances of the legal system in Waynesburg and in Washington.
We know the system. We know where the courthouse is, and we know where to park. And at our office, you can park for free.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, heading into the bottom half of the first inning. The Mustangs coming to the plate. Here's Tony to set their lineup.
All right, leading off for the Mustangs will be third baseman Tanner Minio. Batting second baseman Josh Burns. Batting third, shortstop Travis Sankovic. Batting cleanup, first baseman Mason McManus. Batting fifth, pitcher Ian Edenfield. Sixth would be Chad Petrus, the catcher. Batting seventh, Richie Mihal, left fielder. Eighth, Greg Lancaster, center fielder. And batting ninth, Alec McClay, playing right field today for the Mustangs.
And all seniors in the lineup here for senior day. Joe Sabalak on the hill. First pitch, fastball misses outside to Herminio, 1-0. The Leopards with Trevor Schrock out in left, Logan Salega in center, Max Gruden in right. Around the horn, it's Nolan Labuda at third. Another pitch in there for a strike from Sabalak. Josh Hoffman at short, Garrett Grenko at second, and Jordan Hartman at first. Mentioned Sabalak on the mound and Cole Naylor, the catcher for the Belle Vernon Leopards.
Yes, Sabalak coming in with an overall record of 2-1 on the year.
1-1 pitch sent foul there by Tanner Minio. Tan, honored before the start of the game, was escorted by his parents Bruce and Patty Minio. Tan, a member of the Engineering Academy in 10th and 11th grade, named first team all Section 3 5A back on Saturday. Wants to continue his education and baseball career at the next level. Played 4 years here at Laurel Highlands, third base and left field, and a well-hit ball there into right. Charging and getting from the right field position, Max Gruden for the first out of this bottom half of the first inning. That'll bring up Josh Burns to the plate. Burns, a 5'9", 165 senior, batting .255 with no homers and 15 RBIs so far this season. This bottom half of the first inning being brought to you by Romeo's World Importing in Uniontown.
And a little insight into the Belle Vernon Leopards. They're only starting 3 seniors here today, Brian.
Have 6 total seniors on their team. First pitch to Burns, misses for ball 1. Sabalak likes to work quickly from that stretch position as Burns fouls one off there to even up the count at 1-1. Josh was escorted today by his dad, Jim, who's one of the Laurel Highlands assistant coaches, and his mother, Chris, along with sister Jordan, and their newest family member, their dog, Jax, was here. Josh plans to attend Cal U to study education and continue to play baseball for the Vulcans. Played 4 years of baseball here at Laurel Highlands, playing second base. And Burns with a little nubber there that's gloved and then missed by Labuda, whose throw goes wide. Actually, it's Josh in the back coming over there. I think you have to rule that an error down there, Tony, wouldn't you say?
We're going to rule it an error, and actually Labuda was pretty lucky that it hit Josh Burns, because I think he would have been able to go to second base. That ball hit him right in the back and kind of bounced back to the first baseman, so he was pretty lucky to have an error and actually be stopped by Josh.
Travis, think of it.
So Burns aboard, and the Mustangs with a base runner with 1 out here in the bottom half of the first inning. And Travis Sankovic coming to the plate, takes the first pitch. Fastball outside. Travis was escorted today by his parents, Tom and Candy Sankovic, and his brother, Tyler. Of course, Travis has been playing baseball here at Laurel Highlands. He's been named a 2018 Perfect Game preseason All-American. Grounds here to second, throw over to first. Dropped there by the first baseman, Jordan Hartman. They had to rush that one. Garrett Greco had a little trouble with it. How you scoring that one, Tom?
I'm going to actually give him a base hit.
Okay.
Sankovic hustled down the line pretty good. I mean, the ball wasn't hit very hard, and you know, we've seen a tendency, too, here at Laurel Highlands. The grass is pretty thick in the infield, and it was slow, and Garrett Greco, the freshman, just kind of hung back on it and really didn't have a chance to get Sankovic, I think, even with a good throw.
Like Tan, Travis was named first-team All-Section back on Saturday. Of course, he's attending Florida Southwestern in the fall. Had a full scholarship for baseball, and he's played 4 years here at Laurel Highlands in the shortstop position. And now Mason McManus behind 0-1, but the Mustangs threatening. 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom half of the first inning. Game still scoreless. Joe Sabalak again from the stretch, 0-1 on the way, and that one nubbed foul on the left side. Mason was escorted today by his parents, Mark and Barbara McManus. He plans to attend college to study engineering. Played 3 years of baseball, pitching and playing first base, and certainly a great season this year. The .453 average and 23 RBIs entering this game. He's a 6'3", 200-pound senior. And an 0-2 hole here against Joe Sabalak. Sabalak brings another fastball, popped up by McManus over the fence and out of play, and the count remains 0-2. And not nearly the room here at Laurel Highlands as we saw on Saturday down in West Virginia, Tony, in foul territory.
We saw a ton of room in West Virginia. I think we saw, what, Brian, 6 or 7 outs recorded in foul territory down there, and I highly doubt if we're going to see that here today.
The count remains 0-2. Sabalak, his 6th appearance of the season. And McManus with a line drive here through on the left side. Rounding third on his way to score, Josh Burns. Holding up at second, Sankovic. And an RBI single to left for Mason McManus, his 24th RBI of the season. Run scored for Josh Burns, and the Mustangs strike first, leading 1-0.
And that's pretty much what we've seen all year long from McManus, timely hitting and being able to drive in 24 runs in a year. That's a great season for the senior.
The Mustangs continue their solid hitting here in the bottom half of the first inning. Now Ian Edenfield coming to the plate. He'll take the first pitch for a strike. Looked a little high, but a good fastball from Sabalak. Ian was escorted by his parents, Chris and Carla Edenfield, and sister Bailey today. Of course, Ian, a member of the Laurel Highlands football team, lettered for 4 years, and a great wrestler as well, as they throw back to second to check Sankovic, who's back safely. Ian plans to attend Cal U of PA on a football scholarship and major in special education. Of course, has played baseball for 4 years, both as a pitcher and first baseman. Also spent some time out in right field this year as well.
Yeah, kind of surprised at that last play. Sabalek went back and tried to pick off Sankovic at second. I think, actually, if the first baseman would have snuck in behind McManus, they might have had a chance to get him.
Counts 0-1, and Edenfield will check swing one around. Now 0-2 from Joe Sabalak to Ian Edenfield. Sabalak entered this game with a 2-1 record, 2.13 ERA. Mentioned the 6th appearance of the season. He's worked 23 innings, given up 19 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them earned. Struck out 21 and walked 5. As that pitch misses for a ball. Count now at 1-2. 1 out as we work here in the bottom half of the first inning. Laurel Highlands a run already across, looking for more.
Yeah, and I already have Sabalak at 17 pitches here today.
Starting to add up, but strikes out. Ian Edenfield here. Big cut from Ian. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So now 2 away here in the bottom half of the first inning with Chad Petrus coming to the plate. Chad was escorted by his parents, Paul and Cheryl, before the game, who's also a member of the Laurel Highlands football team. He plans to attend college and study education. He's played 4 years here at Laurel Highlands, mainly as a catcher.
Number 13, Chad.
Well, and we wish all the seniors good luck. We're hearing a lot of good majors that they're going to study, Brian.
For sure. First pitch to Chad, and therefore a strike 0-1.
As you know, that's the best 4 years of your life.
Yeah. You're right on that.
And then the party's over.
Enter the real world.
That's it. Breaking
ball. Now 2 strikes on Chad Petrus. Came into this game with a .344 average, a homer and 8 RBIs. He's a 5'11", 185 senior. Certainly has had some timely hits for the Mustangs over the past week. Now the 0-2 on the way. And actually, it clipped his bat. Might have clipped his hand as well there, Tell.
Yeah, I think it did clip his hand. But bat being in play, kind of a little strange there. I didn't know if they were going to call it a foul ball or what, but they did.
That's twice now in the last week. Chad's been hit by a pitch and not credited first base.
Well, the one we still can't get over. That was the one at Franklin Regional. But that one, he paid the price for that one.
Umpire ruled he did not make a good enough attempt to try to get out of the way of the baseball. And thus first base not awarded. And Chad with a line drive here right up the middle into center field. Should score another run. Sankovic rounding third on his way to the plate. Throw coming in, not in time. And the Mustangs have their second run of this bottom half of the first inning. RBI single from Chad Petrus, his 9th RBI of the season, driving in Travis Sankovic.
And right on cue, Brian. He said that he's been getting timely hits, and there's one right there. Keep this inning going with 2 outs.
The Mustangs will bring in a courtesy runner, and Evan Voighton to run for McLay. Evan escorted today by his parents, Bob and Jen, member of SAD, Interact Junior Achievement Club. He's going to attend Penn State, your alma mater, Tony, and study nursing. 4 years here at Laurel Highlands on the baseball team as a pitcher and outfielder, Evan Voighton. And now at the plate for Laurel Highlands, Richie Mihal.
And Richie going to be attending West Virginia.
You're right on that, to study engineering. Get to the rest of his bio in just a moment. Mustangs 2 already across, looking for more. Sabalak's first pitch to Mihal, and therefore a strike 0-1. Richie was escorted by his parents, Rich and Michelle Mihal, also a member of the Laurel Highlands basketball team for 4 years and National Honor Society for 4 years. Plans to, as Tony said, study West Virginia and major in nursing, and he got hit by a pitch.
That's the second, although we thought Petrus did, but Richie kind of turned right into it. Sabalek trying to working on the inside corner.
And Richie's actually also looking at Westmoreland County Community College for electrical utility technology as well, so has not officially committed yet. 4-year member of this Laurel Highlands baseball team as an outfielder. So now the bases loaded after Mihal hit by a pitch, and Greg Lancaster today batting from the number 8 position in the batting lineup. Taking the first pitch there.
That was a ball low.
Sabalak in a jam here with 2 outs. Lancaster popping it up in foul territory. The ball will go over the fence and out of play, even if the count at 1-1. Greg was escorted today by his parents, Paul and Jackie Lancaster, and brother Nick. Member of the Laurel Highlands basketball team and National Honor Society. Also plans to attend Penn State and major in engineering. 4-year member of the Laurel Highlands baseball team as a pitcher and an outfielder.
Well,
that pitch in there for a strike throw down to second.
Wow.
Back safely, very close there, Evan Voighton.
Tell you what, Evan he had a huge lead on first base. I was kind of surprised that Hartman didn't try to sneak in on him, but he's got a huge lead on the base pass. That was pretty close, actually.
Be a big spot here for Greg to break out of the little slump he's been on here over the last week and a half or so. And a 1-2 hole here against Joe Sabalak. Breaking ball, and Greg stays alive, fouling it off over the press box. Big crowd on hand here today. You can see on that far side.
And there's a great crowd here. It's good for senior day as well. Nice weather, not too hot.
Chance of rain this afternoon. One of the reasons we sit up in the press box. Hopefully it holds on for the rest of this game. Another 1-2 from Sabalak to Lancaster. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Sabalak gets out of the inning. The Mustangs leave the bases loaded but do score 2. And after 1, it's Laurel Highlands 2 and Belle Vernon nothing here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
2 runs scored in the bottom of the first inning for Laurel Highlands. Moving to the top of the second, it's Laurel Highlands 2, Belle Vernon nothing.
Creditors calling you day and night? Your debt overwhelms you? Although you may feel that you're in a hopeless situation, Zebley, Mahalev & White can help. We're a full-service local bankruptcy firm that knows what a difficult time this is and what to do to help you get a fresh start. Call Zebley, Mahalev & White today for a free consultation. Your hometown bankruptcy firm. Call us today.
Don't borrow more money until you talk to Zebley, Mahalev & White.
Number 16, Jordan Hartman.
Moving to the top of the second inning, swing and a miss there out of Jordan Hartman, who's leading things off here for the Belle Vernon Leopards. It's Hartman, Sabalak, and Naylor for the Leopards here in the top half of the second. Laurel Highlands leading early on, 2-0.
Right, and Edenfield extremely efficient in the first inning, only throwing 7 pitches.
Nice breaking ball from Ian there. Just like that, the count 0-2. This is the 7th appearance for Ian so far in the season on the mound. Came into the game working 12 1/3, 2-0 record, giving up 2 runs. They're both earned 7 hits, struck out 12, and walked 7. So he's been impressive on the mound for the Mustangs so far this season. ERA just over 2. Ground ball there to Arminio at third. Throw over to first in time to McManus. And Hartman retired 5-3. So Edenfield retiring the first 4 Leopards here this afternoon.
Right, and 3 via the ground ball. So doing a good job keeping the ball down. Had the strikeout against Huffman, but three ground outs for the other batters.
That'll bring up Joe Sabalak. Sabalak, a big guy, 6'5", 212. Another senior. Came into the game with a 267 average and 8 RBIs. We saw him this past winter on the Belle Vernon basketball team. Took the first pitch from Edenfield for ball 1. Pretty good hoopster as well.
Yes, he is, and he's going to go to Waynesburg. And I think he's going to play baseball there, correct? He's not going to play basketball. He's going to play baseball.
There's a well-hit ball here in the center field. Greg Lancaster backing up, still backing up, and making the grab, falling back. So Lancaster doing a nice job out there in center field.
I think that ball carried a lot further than he thought it was. That ball just kept going. I thought he actually had it squared up early on, but
not a lot of wind here today.
No, not at all. But man, that was impressive. Nice catch by Greg out there.
Now the catcher Cole Naylor will come to the plate. Naylor, 5'7", 150 junior, came into the game with a 304 average and 6 RBIs. First pitch misses for ball 1. This half inning being brought to you by General Dentist Dr. Edward Wietek.
And Edenfield steps off.
Taking his time. Might be a helicopter, small plane flying overhead. 1-0 on the way. Fouled back by Cole Naylor. Mustang sure will miss this senior class.
Well, and we've mentioned it a time or two over the air, Brian. Supposedly the underclassmen and the JV team are stellar. And
yeah,
they're
played
having
some
a great
good
year
baseball.
As well, yeah.
Now one missing low. Count now moving to 2-1. Still 11 seniors, and almost all of them have been major contributors to this Mustang program in their time here at Laurel Highlands.
Now every bit of it. Even last year we saw the Mustangs reload after losing a bunch of seniors last year. So
2-1, swing and a miss. Kind of leaving it 2-2. Laurel Highlands will play in town tomorrow. Technically be a road game for the Mustangs at their former home, Hutchinson Field in Hopwood, taking on the Uniontown Red Raiders. Uniontown playing their home games now at Hutchinson. That game was actually pushed back an hour. It was originally scheduled to start at 6 o'clock. It'll now be a 7 o'clock start. Our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show on the air around 6:45 here on the radio side. We'll also have it on the TV side as well. And there's strike 3, the ruling from the base umpires that Naylor went around. So the second strikeout of the afternoon for Edenfield, and the Mustangs yet to give up a hit so far. Head to the bottom half of the second inning. Laurel Highlands leading Belle Vernon 2-0 here in the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
No runs scored at the top of the second. Moving to the bottom of the second, it's Laurel Highlands 2, Belle Vernon 0.
We're back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. Alec McAlade will lead off the bottom half of the second inning for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. The Mustangs plating 2 in the bottom half of the first inning. RBI singles for Mason McManus and Chad Petrus, driving in Josh Burns and Travis Sankovich, respectively.
Yeah, and Alec McAlade, rare at bat.
Swings at the first pitch, sends it foul on the right side. McAlade came into this game just 1 for 2 on the season with an RBI, playing right field today. Another Mustang senior was escorted by his parents, Rich and Renee McAlade. Member of the Laurel Highlands soccer team, was the varsity captain this past season. Swing and a miss there. 2 strikes on Alec McAlade. Also kicked for the football team. Member of the SAD club as well. He plans to attend Bethany College to continue his academic and football career. And he's played 4 seasons of baseball here at Laurel Highlands as an outfielder and a pitcher.
And he's got some speed. We've seen him primarily as the courtesy runner.
Correct.
For the Mustangs throughout the whole year, and he's done a great job on the base pass for the Mustangs.
The striker on the Laurel Highlands soccer team as well did a great job with Colby Davis on the front line this past fall as well. Takes a pitch there.
Pretty close, but just a little outside. Sablak trying to nibble on the outside corner against McAlade. Just missed the corner.
Count 2-2. Swing and a miss there from McAlade, but actually got a piece of it. Foul tip to stay alive.
Yeah, I thought I heard it. So McAlade staying alive, trying to get on base and utilize his speed here.
2-2 again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Alec McAlade. 3rd strikeout of the game so far for Joe Sabalak. Now has 23 strikeouts so far this season. And I'll bring up the top of the order again at Tanner Mineo. Tan flew out to Max Gruden out in right field. Played off the bottom half of the first inning.
To the top of the order,
and we're going
Highlands third baseman, Tan Armenio.
Extend our congratulations to Tan and Travis Sankovich, first team all-section.
Correct. 6 Mustangs got honors as Armenio takes the first pitch there for a strike. Mason McManus along with Dino Vecchiola getting second team honors, and a couple of honorable mention as well. And there's a robbery from the shortstop, Josh Hoffman, taking away a hit from Tanner Mineo.
Yeah, that was a great play by Hoffman. He made a great break as soon as that ball was hit. Went to his right, gloved it. That was a hard shot by Armenio, just unlucky on his part.
Nate Zimkowski, who's not in the lineup today, mainly because he's an underclassman. Nate Edenfield also got honorable mention section honors as well. It's pretty impressive to have 6 members of your team getting section honors, but that happens when you go 13-1 on the season as Burns fouls one back there.
Well, 6 members of your team and 2 sophomores.
Correct.
Being mentioned. Actually, you and I were texting back and forth last night. I thought Vecchiola would be first team.
He got second team, and he's been very impressive on the mound. Those are all voted on by opposing team coaches. Maybe some of the opposing teams that didn't vote for Dino didn't see him on the season.
Well, I was going to say they probably didn't see him, but you look at his numbers, and he's been an extremely impressive sophomore, and good things to come here for the Mustangs next year.
Burns taking one there. You mentioned Dino's numbers. ERA of just 1.03 and a 5-0 record. Been the Mustangs' ace as among the pitching staff so far this season as Josh Burns strikes out there. So 1-2-3, bottom half of the second inning. Still 2-0 Mustangs over the Leopards here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
No runs scored in the bottom of the second for the Mustangs. Moving to the top of the third, it's Laurel Highlands 2, Belle Vernon 0.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
To the top of the third inning for Belle Vernon. Number 25, Max Godden.
The Belle Vernon Leopards have been retired in order so far in this contest. Max Godden, Trevor Schrock, and Nolan Labuda. Still looking for the Leopards' first hit of the afternoon.
Well, and while we have a second, Brian, we're going to say that Excella Health knows how important shoulders, knees, and ankles are to an athlete. Whether you're on the gridiron, under the boards, or walking a balance beam, being on the sidelines is never an option. Excella Health has a trusted team of orthopedic surgeons and athletic trainers right here in Westmoreland County. To learn more about Excella Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, visit us on the web at excellahealth.org. That's excellahealth.org.
So Max Godden, a 6'2", 190 junior, came into this game with a 182 average and 4 RBIs on the season. Trying to get something going here for the Leps in the top half of the third inning. Swing and a miss there from Godden. And Godden with 2 strikes on him.
And Edenfield looks good, keeping the ball down. That's a mound he's used to as well.
Got 1-2 now on Godden. Breaking ball, and Max pops this one up over the press box and out of play. Count remains 1-2. For you folks on the radio side, we'll have a TV replay for you on the South Union Township Sports Network Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on Atlantic Broadband Channel 17 and Armstrong Channel 61. I'll also include all of the Senior Day festivities, emceed by Barry Rosner in his 39th year behind the mic here at Laurel Highlands. Godden popping up another one. McClay charging on, but the ball over the fence and out of play. So next year will be year number 40 for Barry.
We're going to have a big deal here for Barry. I know a couple of years ago we had the Uniontown LH game. They had Barry Rosner bobblehead day there. So I don't know what they're going to have. Maybe Garden Gnome night or something here coming up.
I would suggest there has to be a special ceremony for Barry.
Yeah.
For 40 years. And there's the first hit of the afternoon for the Belle Vernon Leopards. Single to center field for Max Godden. And the Leps in business.
Maybe Free Shirt Friday.
You get Barry's picture on the face, on the shirt?
No, it'll say Raise the Jolly Rosner.
Oh, there we go. I like it.
Number 24, Trevor Schrock.
Now, Trevor Schrock will come to the plate.
I don't think Barry likes that idea, but he's
Tony has everybody laughing up here in the press box. So Schrock at the plate. First pitch from Edenfield, and Schrock goes a chase in 0-1. Schrock came into this game with a 244 average, 10 RBIs, 5'8", 172 senior, playing left field here today.
Yeah, that's right. They're laughing worldwide as well, Brian.
Nick mentioned off the air we had some listeners down in Guam. Wow. Another strike from Ian Edenfield. Of course, Nick Barczyk back in our Uniontown Hospital studios on the radio side. Jerry Dupay here on the TV side. I'm Brian Morozak. Next to me, Tony Hanula.
And they're probably trying to make travel plans next year to get here for the 40th anniversary.
They might. They might. Tickets on sale now. Gary better make sure he doesn't go out of town either.
Oh, I got to tell you.
Celebration.
Got to know ahead of time.
0-2 now. That infield to Schrock. Pitch on the way, just misses low and outside. Belle Vernon, a little activity down the left field line.
And McManus holding Naylor on with the 2-run lead.
It's Chris McCullough loosening up.
Did see an interesting stat as well, Brian. I looked at the Belle Vernon numbers. They have yet to ground into a double play this year.
Wow. That is impressive. 1-2 here. Breaking ball, little one-hopper blocked by Petrus. Remaining at first, Max Godin.
And we've seen the Mustangs turn a number of them.
That would be the ultimate eye jazz there, Tony.
Oh,
if they
yeah.
ground into a double play here. We'll see.
Well, you get Sankovic and Burns in the middle. They turn that double play well. We've seen it a few times here this year for the Mustangs.
2-2 now to Schrock. And infield's pitch, another breaking ball, missing low, and we're full of 3-2.
Man, it looks like he's just trying to. Looks like he's coming across just a hair. Missing outside and low.
And the payout pitch to Schrock.
Naylor not with a very big lead.
Runner going now. And Schrock, a hard ground ball getting through. You had Sankovic and double play depth there. That allowed that one to get through from Schrock on the left side.
Now Sankovic was breaking because Godin was breaking from first base, trying to steal second. They're under the impression that Schrock was going to hit the ball the other way, try to move the runner over, and he pulled it into the hole whenever Sankovic broke. So perfectly placed hit by Schrock.
Now 2 on, nobody out. And Nolan Labuda coming to the plate. So the Leps
Number 5, Nolan.
Getting down 2-0 in the bottom half of the first inning, but threatening here in the top half of the third.
And McManus creeping in. I don't know if he's expecting bunt.
There you go. Laid right down to Edenfield. Thought about making the throw to third. Thinks better of it and sends it over to Josh Burns, who's covering the first base bag. This goes in the books as the fielder's choice. And the first outs of this top half of the third inning.
A nice bunt there by Labuda. Perfectly made sure that the pitcher covered. First baseman breaking in. Burns had to come and cover second base.
Second baseman, Garrett.
I'm sorry, cover first base.
Now the top of the order, and Gary Greco coming to the plate. Greco grounded out 1-3 to start the game in the top half of the first inning. This half inning being brought to you by Ford of Uniontown, located on Route 40 on top of the hill across from Applebee's. Greco, only a freshman, but came into the game with a .419 average. A little nubber here. Back to Edenfield again. Holds the runner on third. Throws back over to first. McManus covering the bag for the second out of the inning.
And nice play by Edenfield to look the runner back. Greco, the freshman. It's his second ground out to Edenfield here today.
Some solid defense here for the Mustangs in the top half of the third. And now Logan Salega will come to the plate. Logan grounded out to
Center fielder
Travis Sankovic, the Mustang shortstop, back in the first inning.
Now this would be big for Edenfield to get out of this.
Salega, 341 average, swings at the first pitch here. Grounded to Arminio at third, should be routine. Over to first in time to McManus to get out of the inning. So the Leopards strand 3, unable to come up with a run. Still 2-0. Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon as we head to the bottom of the third here on the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
No runs scored at the top of the third inning for Belle Vernon. Moving to the bottom of the third, still stands the Mustangs 2, the Leopards.
Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths. Signs include abdominal pain and rectal bleeding. Colon cancer develops from a degenerating benign growth or polyp. Doctors performing colonoscopy are able to remove precancerous polyps, thus preventing colon cancer. This saves lives, and the American Cancer Society now recommends that everyone have a colonoscopy every 10 years, beginning at age 50. Offer the latest diagnostic testing. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, new pitcher for the Belle Vernon Leopards, Chris McCullough. McCullough enter this game, Tony, with a 2-0 record on the season, 2.33 ERA. This is his 5th appearance for the Belle Vernon Leopards, and with both of these teams headed to the WPIL playoffs, we thought that might see a lot of pitchers here today. McCullough's only worked those 6 innings on the season, giving up 8 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, walked 3, struck out 2.
Well, we figured that we'd see some pitching by both teams here, making sure that the arms stay fresh.
Sankovic, McManus, and Edenfield due up for the Mustangs here in the home half of the third. Sang taking the first pitch for ball 1 from McCullough. McCullough, a big guy. Lines and fires, and Sankovic pops it up on the left side. Over the fence and out of play. Evens up the count at 1-1. McCullough listed on our roster, 5'9", 245 senior.
He's a big fella out there.
Next season, McCullough's headed to Geneva College. Nice breaking ball there, in for a strike to Senk. Count moves to 0-2. Check that 1-2.
And that'll close the book on Sabalek. 2 innings pitched. He gave up 2 runs. Neither one of them earned.
1-2, breaking ball, misses low and inside. And we mentioned McCullough has worked only 6 innings all year, so I think we'll see a number of Leopard pitchers here throughout the course of the afternoon. I'll be surprised we see maybe 4 or 5 of them.
I would agree. I think probably throwing 2 innings at the most by anybody here for the Leopards.
Another off-speed pitch there from McCullough, and we're full of 3-2 to Travis Sankovic. Sank with an infield single, scored a run in his first at-bat. Still batting over 500 for the season. 3 homers and 17 RBIs. Payoff pitch from McCullough brings the heat, and Sank sends it high in the air to center field. Logan Salega getting under it. He'll make the grab for the first out of the inning. Some Belle Vernon pitchers now have retired 5 straight. Lancaster to end the first, a 1-2-3 inning in the second, with McLay and Burns striking out, and Arminio sending that line drive into the glove of Josh Hoffman, and then Sankovic flying out here to Logan Salega.
Mason McManus.
Yeah, real quick, we'll finish that out. Sabalek, 2 innings, gave up 2 runs, neither one of them earned, gave up 3 hits, no bases on balls, and he struck out 4 Mustangs in his 2 innings of work.
Now Mason McManus at the plate, swings at the first pitch, fouls it off here on the right side. McManus an RBI single back in the first inning. Came into this game with a .453 average and 23 RBIs. Now it's 24 on the season. 6'3", 200-pound senior. McCullough now, a wind and fire, the 0-1. Goes back with a breaking ball and had McManus fooled there as the count moves to 0-2.
He definitely had McManus fooled. He was looking heat. McCullough came back with a nice breaking ball. Circle change of some type.
Now the count at 0-2. McCullough's pitch, trying to get McManus to chase, sending it high and inside. Mason knew better.
And as you mentioned, Mason, first time up, base hit, RBI.
1-2 on the way, another breaking ball, misses low and outside. Mike Smith back coaching first base today for the Mustangs, had a well-deserved weekend away. Head coach Scott DeBerry down on third as usual. 2-2 on the way. Misses low and outside. Count now full of 3-2.
Yeah, he didn't get to go to Morgantown with us and sit in the rain a little bit.
I think he said a little quadding, some camping.
Nice. He had a soggy weekend for it, though, a couple days.
Payoff pitch on the way. Fastball, and McManus with a rip deep to left field, and that ball over the wall and gone. A solo home run for Mason McManus, his first home run of the season. Mason now with 25 RBIs, and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs now lead at 3-0.
Yeah, he just caught that high fastball and turned on it, was able to get his hands through. Hit that ball pretty deep into left center field there, Brian. That's his second RBI in the day and second hit.
See a couple of home runs here over the last week and a half from the Mustangs.
We have. We saw, what, well, three home runs. Three total at Allen, right, but 2 by the Mustangs. 1 by Sankovic, 1 by Ian Edenfield.
Ian Edenfield.
The Mustangs with an insurance run. Now up 3-0 with Ian Edenfield coming to the plate. Takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Ian struck out swinging back in the first inning. 6'4", 230 senior. Had one of those home runs down at Albert Gallatin, 3-run shot.
I'm sure Ian
Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't mind going back to back here. with McManus.
A one-hopper there for McCullough. Evens up the count at 1-1.
Yeah, McCullough just got that pitch up. It was about waist high, and McManus, nice job.
Line and fire the next one, and this another hard hit ball to left over the head of Trevor Schrock. Schrock initially came in on the play. Ball goes all the way back to the wall. Be a stand-up double for Ian Edenfield. Another extra base hit out of the Mustangs.
Yeah, nice job there by Edenfield. Actually, Schrock broke in on that ball. I think he thought it was going to dive on him, but it actually hooked, and Edenfield able to get to second base easily.
Now we'll get a courtesy runner.
Courtesy runner for
here for Edenfield.
Number 23, Bernie Jacobet.
That's the fifth hit for the Mustangs here today.
Another Mustang senior in Bernie Jacobet. Bernie was escorted today by his parents, Diane Jordan and Orlando Carr, member of the Laurel Highlands Ski Club. He's already enlisted in the United States Marine Corps, where he plans to attend business school while enlisted. So it's great to see. 2-year member of the Laurel Highlands baseball team.
Best of luck to him. Thank you for serving our country.
Now he's on second with Chad Petrus at the plate, and Chad fouls off the first pitch there from Chris McCullough.
Semper Fi, right, Brian?
Yes. Of course, we had the Americanism Day parade in Uniontown last week on May 1st.
Right. A lot of proud veterans in Fayette County, that's for sure.
Actually have a couple of weekly veterans programs that air on the radio side on WMBS as well. The Dog Tag Club, which normally airs every Wednesday, will actually be on Tuesday this week at 4:15 due to the Pirates broadcast on Wednesday.
Right.
And then we also have a CBS Island Veterans program that airs as well nationally.
Well, you can't thank him enough, that's for sure.
1-1 pitch on the way. A little chin music there to Petrus. Count out 2-1. Mustangs leading 3-0. And again, if you missed the announcement earlier, the Laurel Highlands Uniontown game tomorrow will now start at 7 o'clock. Down at Hutchinson Field in Hopwood. Was originally scheduled to start at 6. Ground ball here on the left side, getting past the shortstop Josh Hoffman. Jacobet will round third. He'll score on the play. 4th run of the afternoon scored for the Mustangs. RBI single for Chad Petrus, his 2nd RBI of the day.
And actually, we're going to have to get Petrus a hit again. It was a tough play.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it was a tough play. Hoffman went to his right, but that ball was pretty deep in the hole. The game tomorrow, right, is 7 o'clock. Coach Smith's letting us know.
Yeah, we passed that along just a moment ago.
Left fielder, Rich Mihal.
Now Richie Mihal coming to the plate. Get her on there at 6:45 with the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show on the radio side. We'll also have a simulcast broadcast as well on the South Union Township Sports Network. Check with the runner. Head first. Slide back safely there for Petrus. Is going to run for himself here.
And you're going to have Hartman holding him on. Petrus with a decent lead.
Richie Mihal, the 5th Mustang to bat here in the bottom half of the 3rd. Takes a pitch there for a strike from Chris McCullough. Again, both Belle Vernon and Laurel Highlands have qualified for the WPIL playoffs. The Mustangs, the Section 3 5A champs. Belle Vernon finishing in a 2nd place tie with West Mifflin behind Ringgold in their conference. In 4A, as Petrus goes on the play, and a little hit and run on, and that ball getting past Schrock out in left field. Schrock made a diving attempt. And look out, Mihal rounding second on his way to 3rd. Petrus has scored on the play. Play at 3rd, throw goes wide, bouncing off the fence in front of the Belle Vernon dugout, and it's a triple for Richie Mihal.
Yeah, Richie turned the Jets on, too. He got around those bases pretty quick. Nice shot by Richie.
4th straight hit for Laurel Highlands. They actually have a cycle in this inning. Single from Petrus, double from Edenfield, triple from Mihal, and a home run for McManus. So a little team cycle here in the inning. That might be it for McCullough. A little visit at the mound. Let's wait and see.
I have McCullough for only 20 pitches so far this inning. But the Mustangs hitting the ball pretty hard.
They've been teeing off on him a little bit here as of late.
No kidding. He got Sankovic for the first out, flying out to center field, and that ball was hit pretty well.
They're going to stay with him for now.
Now, as we mentioned, non-section game, just preparing for the playoffs. So they're going to ride him a little bit longer than normal.
Mustangs scoring 3 now. Here in the bottom half of the 3rd to lead 5-0.
Center fielder, Greg Lancaster.
Richie Mihal picking up his 8th RBI of the season. Now Greg Lancaster coming to the plate, showing bunt, lays it down right back to McCullough. Will make the throw over to first in time to retire Lancaster. Mihal unable to go home.
And it wasn't a squeeze. Lancaster was actually just trying to bunt his way on. Saw the third baseman playing a little deep and actually bunted it to the pitcher, who had an easy play. If he'd have taken that ball down the third baseline, probably would have got a base hit out of the deal. We saw that actually on Friday against Albert Gallatin.
Alec McLay coming into the plate. McLay now 1 for 3 on the season. Struck out swinging, leading off the bottom half of the second inning. Now 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third. 3 already across for the Mustangs. Mihal on third, and Alec McLay fouling off the first pitch there from Chris McCullough.
As you mentioned, McLay struck out the first time up. He's looking to drive in his first run of the year.
16th game of the season here today for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Came in with a 13-2 overall record, 13-1 conference mark. Also the 16th game of the year for the Belle Vernon Leopards. Came in 11-4 overall, 10-4 out of their conference, Section 3 4A.
And we'll get to see one of their opponents tomorrow in Uniontown.
Correct. Uniontown just missing out on the postseason, but the Red Raiders a very respectable season at 9-8 overall and 7-7 in conference play. Breaking ball there, and McLay a little blooper to right, but it will be caught by Max Godin to end the inning. But the Mustangs score 3 and now lead it 5-0 over the Leopards as we head to the top half of the fourth here on the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
3 runs scored in the bottom of the third inning for Laurel Highlands. Moving to the top of the fourth, it's now Laurel Highlands 5 and Belle Vernon 0.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
We're back here at Laurel Highlands High School. Thomas Landman Field, a 5-0 lead for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs over the Belle Vernon Leopards. With our game getting pushed back an hour tomorrow, Tony, till 7 o'clock. Understand Doug Saltzman's going to be on the air. His normal time between 5 and a little bit after 6:30 before we hit the air for Laurel Highlands and Uniontown.
Well, not so sure who his interesting guest will be tomorrow if he's broadcasting from the church.
Stay tuned for more on that tomorrow.
Top of the order for Laurel Highlands, third base.
Tanner Minio, Josh Burns, and Travis Sankovich due up for the Mustangs, top of the order. Arminio trying to get it going today. 0 for 2, couple well-hit balls, though. Kahlo's first pitch to Arminio. Tan showing bunt, pulls back, pitch misses low for ball 1.
And Tanny can see that Labuta's playing back, trying to drop one down the third base line. With his speed, he'd have no problem beating it out.
This half inning being brought to you by Ted Silva and Son Auto Repair on the Atlas Road in Hopwood. McCullough's 1-0 on the way, missing low, 2-0 now to Tanner Arminio. Nice to get back to Hutchinson, though, tomorrow. That was a venue I always enjoyed doing games at over the years. I was actually disappointed the Mustangs moved over here because it was so fun doing the games down at Hutchinson. We'll be situated right behind home plate. Jerry will have the camera up on the TV side on the third base dugout.
You just enjoy being undercover all the time.
It's nice. You have a good setup for us.
Oh, no,
on top of all the action.
Great place to announce a game.
Snack bar right behind us. Anytime you want to grab a little snack, which you've been known to do a time or two in the past.
I didn't get this way by looking at it.
That's a walk issued there to Tanner Arminio. Of course, Tan's your nephew, Tony.
Yes, he is. Nathaniel's my nephew. I know he's talking about a few different schools.
I would think he should have a pretty good opportunity to play baseball on the next level if he would like.
I think actually he's kind of looked at Pitt Johnstown. And
running here and throw down to second. It's close, and they're going to say he is safe.
Wow. I'm not so sure about that.
I agree.
And that was interesting, but we're going to give him a stolen base. Can't go to the replay for that one. I'm sure Coach Hicksonball would if he could.
And Jerry has it.
That's not going to do him any good here.
Not going to do Coach Hicksonball any good. We'll give you another look at it on the TV side.
It will for the viewers, but
you can use your own judgment. And here's a little bunt laid down, and they're going to tag Burns right on the baseline.
Yeah, he's
charging in there was Jordan Hartman making the play on Burns. 3 unassisted.
Yeah, but good bunt by Josh there to get the runner over. Now with only 1 out, Sankovic coming to bat.
And Arminio down to third.
Travis Sankovic.
Sank an infield single, scored a run back in the first inning, flew out to Logan Solega back in the third inning. Kahlo's first pitch here to Sank, high and outside for ball 1.
And Sankovic.
And Jerry's been on the replays pretty good throughout the course of the season, checking on some of those close ones on the stolen bases.
Yes.
This one popped up by Sank on the left side. And backing up the shortstop, Hoffman making the grab. So Josh doing a nice job there.
That was a great play by Hoffman. He covered a ton of ground to get to that. Actually thought the left fielder Schrock was going to come in, but he was playing pretty deep against Sankovic, and that was a great catch.
Second out of the inning. Mason McManus will come to the plate.
First baseman, Mason.
We have to ask Jerry also. We talked about some of the replays. Of course, Gary and I back in the first inning talked about that foul tip, which we thought was a foul tip. What do you think, Jerry? He said it was a foul tip.
Yeah.
Umpire did not like the fact I questioned that in between innings. But what are you going to do?
Well,
so a stolen base was allowed on a foul tip.
He's the man in charge. That's what happens.
Luckily, I didn't get tossed. Gary would have been solo the rest of the way.
Yeah, but you'd have gone into press box. He wouldn't have known if you win or not.
1-0 on the way. Missing low. We were situated by the snack bar on Wednesday.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
He might have had a view of me down there. Oh, well.
Well, luckily the Mustangs still won and everything was good.
Count now even at 1-1. Next pitch misses low and outside. The only time I ever got close to getting tossed doing a game on the air, it was a basketball game down at Penn Trafford, I believe, years ago. And there was a 4th foul to a Uniontown player. The referee credited as the 5th foul. The next pitch there and there for a strike. And the guy that was the official book had to have been about 95 years old. He didn't know exactly what he was doing. I said very politely to the referee who came over to the table, I said, just to let you know, everybody here has him for 4.
Right.
He said, if you say anything else, you're gone. I said, all right, just passing it along. I know Rob Kaczmarski remembers that
I'm sure
afternoon well, and there's an RBI single to left from Mason McManus. That'll score Tanner Arminio on the play, 6th Mustang run of the afternoon.
Now, and that's McManus's 3rd hit and 3rd RBI. He's having a great senior day.
3 for 3. Of course, the home run to left back in the third inning.
Pitcher, Ian Edenfield.
Ian Edenfield will be the 5th Mustang to bat here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And a 6-run lead now for Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon. Swings of the first pitch here. That gets through the glove of Nolan Labuda down at third. Right down the line. McManus will stop at third with a throw coming in. Edenfield in a second, so that goes in the books. E5.
Yes.
Play Labuda should have had.
Yeah, that's the second error on Labuda. That'll advance McManus to third. Edenfield to second with 2 outs. It's going to give Petrus another chance. He's already got 2 hits and an RBI here today for the Mustangs.
Petrus.
Of course, the Leps play at one of the nicer facilities around the WPIAL, the DeVergilio Sports Complex. Play many of their games under the lights.
Yes, that's a beautiful field. Beautiful complex is right.
First pitch to Petrus, swing and a miss, counted 0-1.
Well, and we'll see. I'm sure the Mustangs and the Leopards will both play at pretty nice venues come next week.
The Mustangs, as a section champ, should get a game, I would hope, pretty close to home. You never know, though.
Well, we've seen the Mustangs get shipped down to Mount Pleasant a lot of times.
Haven't had a very good history there as of late, but still a venue that would allow a lot of the Mustang supporters. Just a little quick drive up Route 119.
Right.
Go 13-1 in the conference. You should be playing fairly close to home.
You would think. But we've seen some strange things in the past.
Pitch missing low and outside. Of course, Laurel Highlands missing out on the playoffs last year, going 9-10. Their last playoff season back in 2016, the Mustangs defeating Ambridge in a first-round game, lost to Char Valley. That game was played in Char Valley's backyard, 2-1. The quarterfinal round as Petrus pops this one up on the left side.
Well, when we did that game,
correct,
that Char Valley game, and wow, I can remember it was a 2-1 game. The Mustangs, same thing. They had a ton of bats, but they just couldn't get the bats going that day. Faced a pretty nice pitcher. I don't remember what his name was, but he was a lefty, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Since we've been doing the games, Laurel Highlands hasn't been past the quarterfinal round. Barry, when was the last time Laurel Highlands was in the semifinals for baseball? He's going to look in his mind archives.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
You know, we have some of the stats going back, I think, to around 2001. I don't think, at least since I've been around town, that they've been into the semifinal round. Next pitch there, Petrus in there for strike 3, and that'll do it for the bottom half of the 4th. Mustangs bring home another run, though, and now lead 6-0. As we enter the top half of the 5th here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
1 run scored in the bottom of the 4th inning. Moving to the top of the 5th, it's Laurel Highlands 6 and Belle Vernon nothing.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, the wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
High school new pitcher for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, Greg Lancaster, coming on in relief of Ian Edenfield for Greg on the season. This is his 5th appearance on the mound. A 1-0 record. ERA 2.93. So far has worked 14 1/3, giving up 22 hits, 10 runs, 6 of them earned, 6 walks, 10 strikeouts for Greg Lancaster. And the Mustangs also making a number of defensive changes. Evan Voight now in left, Bernie Yakubat now in center, and Ian Edenfield in right. Of course, Lancaster now pitching, and I think that's it as far as changes. Mustangs lead 6-0 over Belle Vernon as we enter the top half of the 5th. The Leps will have Cole Naylor, Max Godin, and Trevor Schrock due up. In this half inning being brought to you by the Republic Food Enterprise Center and the Fayette County Community Action Agency. Lancaster now set to go.
The top of the 5th.
Naylor struck out swinging last time up to end the top half of the 2nd inning. 5'7", 150 junior came into the game with a 304 average and 6 RBIs. Lancaster will wind and fire the first pitch to Naylor. It's a fastball on there for a strike, 0-1.
And that'll close the book on Edenfield. 4 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and no walks for Ian. So nice outing, only threw 36 pitches.
Lancaster's 0-1. Rounded foul in the fence in front of the Belle Vernon dugout. Naylor quickly in a 0-2 hole.
And we saw Lancaster was actually the starter on Friday, Brian, against Albert Gallatin.
Coming back, getting some work just a couple days later. Big breaking ball there. Missing for a ball, count at 1-2. Lancaster worked into the 4th inning, I believe, on Friday.
Yes.
And Edenfield came on in relief, kind of reverse roles.
Right.
Here today, the Mustangs played 5 games in 6 days last week. Busy week for all involved. We had 4 of the 5 on the radio side. Had a couple on the TV side as well.
And you saw some good games last week.
We did. Next pitch from Lancaster. Fastball just missing low there. We're full 3-2.
And you get to see, well, you and Gary did the Gateway game, but Gateway, Franklin Regional, we got to see 2 playoff teams there out of the section.
Even that LHAG game was rather close until the later innings, so Greg Lancaster now yielding the walk to Cole Naylor after jumping up 0-2 in the counts. Lancaster 4 straight balls. Naylor walks to lead off this top half of the 5th.
And it's one thing in the high school game. You surely don't want to walk the leadoff batter. Always tends to come back and bite you.
Max Godin.
Now Max Godin coming to the plate.
McMahon is going to hold Naylor on.
Godin singled last time up to lead off the top half of the 3rd and fouls off the first pitch here from Lancaster, 0-1.
And both Godin and on-base batter Schrock. The only 2 hits here for Belle Vernon today off Edenfield. And Naylor only the 3rd base runner.
Hasn't been much on the offensive side for the Leps here today.
Good senior day showing so far by the Mustangs.
Of course, their coach, veteran Daryl Hicksonbaugh, been coaching local sports for over 40 years. Runner going here, throw down to second, not in time. Actually goes into center field. Well backed up there by Jacobet.
And stolen base for Naylor.
And he's been at Belle Vernon. Was it 17 or 19 years, Stoney?
I think 19.
19.
I think so.
Done a great job with the program over the years. Leps seem to be a regular in the WPIL playoffs year in and year out. They lost to Quaker Valley last year in the first round in a close game down in Upper St. Clair, 3-2. Swing gonna miss there. Will retire Max Godin for the first out of the inning, and Lancaster comes in and gets his first strikeout. Belle Vernon fell against Char Valley, also at Upper St. Clair, back in 2016. That game was played at the high school, not the boys' Mayview complex. So the Leps probably hoping they don't go down to Upper St. Clair for a first-round playoff game this year. It's just been a little bad mojo for them.
Well,
lost to Knock in the first round in 2015 down at Fox Chapel, 5-1. Missed out on the postseason in 2014. Lost another game to Char Valley back in 2013 in the first round. Their last playoff win. Have to go back to 2012 when they defeated Beaver in a first-round game. Played in Hampton and actually had a nice little run there during the 2012 season. Advanced to the WPIL championship game at Consol Energy Park down in Washington, falling to Blackhawk 1-0. Advanced to the state playoffs. Actually picked up a state playoff win over Punxsutawney before falling to York in the quarterfinal round in Altoona. That was a run to remember for the Belle Vernon baseball program. Count here 1-1. That pitch high and inside from Lancaster to Schrock.
Yeah, but the Belle Vernon Leopards always one of the top programs in the WPIL. Funnel through a lot of good baseball players. Always at the top of the section and always a formidable opponent for anybody.
2-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball missing outside. Count moves to 3-1. The Mustangs fell down a notch in the 5A rankings this week. Down to number 3. They're number 2 last week. North Hills and Hampton above Laurel Highlands. And, of course, one of the goals for the Mustangs, I would think, would be a first-round playoff bye. Get that automatic trip to the quarterfinal round, and this one hit high in the air on the right side. Edenfield getting under it, but it's going to be Jacobet from the center field position making the grab. Good job there from Bernie.
Yeah, nice play by Bernie, actually.
He called off.
Yeah, he called
out there
off. Thought Edenfield was going to run into him there for a minute, but good job. Jakobet taking control, holding the runner to second base.
That's good for Bernie. He's not a kid who's seen a lot of playing time throughout the course of the season, and nice he's able to make a play out there in the field here on Senior Day.
Definitely.
And Nolan Labuda coming to the plate. Now 2 outs as we work here in the top half of the fifth. Still a 6-0 lead for Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon. Lancaster's first pitch to Labuda, fouled off over our heads and out of play. Counted 0-1.
Yeah, Labuda, sophomore, getting the start here today for Belle Vernon.
Belle Vernon ranked 7th this week in 4A. So pretty much middle of the pack. Newcastle's the number 10 team according to the rankings. So if you're looking at possible teams the Leps might play in the first round, there you go.
Well, that's always a tough task as well. And the thing of it is, you try to find a spot even between Belle Vernon and Newcastle.
It's going to be a long trip still.
Yeah, exactly.
They might be playing in Upper St. Clair. You never know. Even with farther north.
I'm going to think it's going to be further north than that.
Little nubber here that will get through and allow the Leopards to score a run on the play. Jakobet will send it in to Sankovic. And an RBI single for Nolan Labuda, scoring Cole Naylor, and the Leps have their first run of the afternoon. It's 6-1.
Yeah, the sophomore. Only the third hit for the Leopards, but an RBI.
Garrett Greco.
We mentioned the uncertainty of the number of playoff qualifiers in 5A. That's because Trinity has a big game tonight at Montour. If the Hillers win, they get in, which would create 13 playoff qualifiers in 5A. Runner going here again, throw down to second, not in time. Stolen base there for Nolan Labuda.
That's only his 4th stolen base of the year. And the RBI was his 7th on the year for the Leopards.
If the Hillers get in, that means only 3 byes, which might toughen things up a little bit for Laurel Highlands, but still, you look at Laurel Highlands, a 13-1 section record, outright section champs. They really deserve a first-round bye.
Well, and the section is tougher than it has been in years past, Brian. I mean, you're seeing a Franklin regional team right now that's peaking, a Gateway team that's playing extremely well.
Even Greater Latrobe, who were the state champs last year, lost a bunch of seniors to graduation, but they're peaking again at the right time as that ground ball goes back to Lancaster. He'll send it over to McManus to end the inning. 1-3 on the Garrett Greco ground out. The Leps get a run back at 6-1. Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon as we head to the bottom of the fifth here on the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day.
1 run scored at the top of the 5th inning for Belle Vernon. Moving to the bottom of the 5th, it's Laurel Highlands 6, Belle Vernon 1.
Southwestern Endoscopy Center is a state-licensed and Medicare-certified facility and emphasizes privacy, comfort, caring, and safety for colonoscopies and upper GI endoscopies. Painless procedures are done with twilight sedation given by a board-certified anesthesiologist. The center accepts most insurance plans and is staffed by Doctors Ruth Hart, Calabrese, Stokes, SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Just sit right down and you hear a tale of a fateful call. You better pay those bills right now or you take a mighty fall. He really didn't know what to do, so he turned to those who did. Zeppeli, Mahalev, and White, your bankruptcy crew, your bankruptcy crew. So no matter how deep in debt you are, if your back's against the wall, Zeppeli, Mahalev, and White, just give them a call.
Back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, moving to the bottom half of the fifth inning, a 6-1 lead for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs over the Belle Vernon Leopards. We mentioned the Laurel Highlands Uniontown game coming up tomorrow will be a 7 o'clock start over at Hutchinson in Hopwood. Our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show on the air right after the afternoon drive show with Doug Saltzman around 6:45 or so. Doug doing his show on the road tomorrow with Evan Voighton coming to the plate.
In more ways than one.
Evan swings at the first pitch. Ground ball here to second. Greco over to first to Hartman for the first out of the inning. as Voighton retired 4-3, his first at-bat of the afternoon.
Yeah, Voighton coming in for senior day. We've mentioned it more than once. Great game we saw against Woodland Hills, a couple home runs.
Pitcher,
It'd be nice if the Mustangs could find a way to get his bat back in the lineup. I think with some reps, we'll start seeing more production from Evan Voighton.
I would agree.
Greg Lancaster at the plate takes the first pitch low for ball one. Of course, Evan had that arm injury first time around when Laurel Highlands played Albert Gallatin.
Right.
Actually started the game on the mound, had to exit in the first inning.
Yeah, he's got some skills.
McCall is still on the mound, missing low there to Lancaster. Lancaster struck out swinging back in the first inning. Retired on a bunt attempt, 1-3 back in the third.
I've got McCullough at 42 pitches here through 2 1/3.
McCullough coming on in relief of Joe Sabalak. A little one-hopper there.
That was one thing we saw over the weekend, Brian. We weren't sure in West Virginia if they counted pitches or not. I don't know. Did we still?
Well, I don't think we ever got really a clarification. Somebody said no. Somebody else said yes. Somebody else said we did last year. Not sure about this year. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We don't have any more scheduled games, though, in the state of West Virginia the rest of the year. So I don't think we have to worry about it right now.
Yeah, but it might be. We might have to find out. Just
to find out.
Just to find out.
Count at 3-1 here to Lancaster from McCullough. Pitch on the way, and Lancaster fouls it off. Got now a full 3-2.
Craig going to go to Penn State, following his brother Nick's footsteps. Nick also a Penn Stater.
And your footsteps?
I can't say anything bad about that.
Payoff pitch. McCullough to Lancaster. Breaking ball misses high for ball 4, and Lancaster aboard with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. This bottom half of the 5th being brought to you by the Thomas M. Dolphy Funeral Home of Uniontown.
This is going to be Bernie Yakabet now.
Center fielder Bernie Yakabet.
He's going to bat in place of Alec McClay. Senior Yakabet getting some action today.
First pitch. This is high and inside. Actually hit his bat. It's going to be a foul ball.
Did his bat. He tried to get out of the way of it. Ball hit the bat for a foul. Bernie's getting a chuckle out of this one.
Not much you can do about that.
No.
Time you got to pull the bat down.
Well,
saw a ball actually in a similar situation. We did a game at Woodland Hills earlier on this year. Went fair.
Yeah, that was off the bat of Woodland Hills.
Correct. Only the second plate appearance of the season for Bernie. He walked in his previous plate appearance. Here behind 0-2 against McCullough. Now Lancaster running on the play. Pitch misses low. Throw down to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Greg Lancaster.
Lancaster with some speed. Got a really good jump. Stole that base easily.
Of course, stay tuned after the game for the Mamarukas post-game show brought to you by Mamarukas Pizza on Barton Mill Road in Uniontown. End up going down there, Tone, on Saturday night. They had steak night down there.
Did you?
Yes, every other Saturday for the summer of steak night for $10.95, and that's going to be a foul ball, very close down the third base line. Yakabek might have extra bases.
I'm not going to question it, but it looked like it kind of hit the line there, but we've got a pretty... Our view's not the best. So the steak was good?
Yeah, steak was good. You get a steak, choice of potato, either baked potato or fries with a salad, garlic bread for $10.95.
Nothing
Making Smitty hungry down there.
There you go.
That's every other Saturday. So it'll be not this week, but next Saturday again, like a week from this Saturday at Mamaruka's Pizza throughout the summer months. That one hits Yakabet.
Goes from getting a double to being hit by a pitch.
And he's been aboard now in both of his plate appearances so far this season.
Well, yeah, the Sampsons do a nice job at the at the Mamarukas. I was going old school there.
Yes. Of course, Eric getting married coming up in June. Congratulations to him and his fiancée.
Couple weeks.
Tanner Minio now coming to the plate. Fourth time through the order now for the Mustangs with Yakabet on first. Mustangs up 6-1 as we're here in the bottom of the 5th. Of course, later on tonight on WMBS Game 6, will the Pittsburgh Penguins season continue? Down 3-2 against the Washington Capitals. Pre-game on the air at 6 o'clock. Whenever we're done, puck will drop just after 7.
And as they say, a must-win.
Yes, it is.
For the Pens. Or they're going to be pulling out their golf clubs and finding out what Western Pennsylvania has to offer golf-wise.
Of course, they've had success over the years against the Washington Capitals. See what happens later on tonight. They're in a similar situation, down 3-2 2 years ago in the Eastern Conference Finals against Tampa Bay. Rallied back to win that series. Of course, last year's Pens Capitals series won a Game 7 as well.
Right. Give you something to watch tonight.
Listen to here on WMBS. Pitch in there for a strike to Tam.
Now Tanny going to take. He walked his last time up. Was able to come around and score. McManus singled him in.
One of the nicest crowds we've seen here all season long. And Tan, high fly ball here into foul territory on the left side. That'll play.
Yeah, he got around on that pitch pretty quick.
Count at 3-1. 1 out.
Keep his hands back a little bit.
Runners on first and second. Lancaster at second. Jakobat at first. 3-1 on the way, and Arminio rips another one foul.
Tried to keep him back there.
They roll on the road.
Going down to the cable company.
Yes. I think Jerry's chasing it on the TV side. See how much zoom he has there.
Good thing it didn't go under the lawnmower over there.
Yep. Across the street.
Taking out all 128 stitches.
Payoff pitch. And Tan pops this one up to center field. Salega's there. He'll make the grab for the second out of the inning. Now Josh Burns will come to the plate. And a 6-1 lead for Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon. Burns got on via an error in the first inning, ended up scoring a run, struck out swinging in the second inning, and sacrificed in the fourth.
Now, and you mentioned crosstown rivalry tomorrow, Uniontown, Laurel Highlands. I'm sure there'll be a fantastic crowd down at Hutchinson tomorrow night.
For sure. And a 7 o'clock start on the air on 6:45 or still here on the radio side. Throw down a second, and Lancaster back safely.
Yeah, Naylor, he likes to try to throw behind the runners there at second base. He's got a great arm.
And unless they add something on late, this is the final regular season game of the year for the Leopards before the playoffs get underway.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get a couple scrimmages in here and there. Nothing to speak of, but probably get somebody else to play about 4 or 5 innings prior to going into the playoffs.
It was good just to stay sharp game-wise. Mustangs scheduled to play 3 straight days this week. And the Uniontown game tomorrow, they'll play at Hempfield on Wednesday. We'll have, of course, tomorrow's game for you on the radio side. It'll be our final regular season broadcast of the year. The Mustangs were scheduled to play and host West Allegheny here on Thursday, but West Day canceled out over the weekend.
Yeah. Might not have, probably didn't want to show them anything for the playoffs.
Maybe.
In case they meet down the road.
That would have been a fun game, I think, to see on both sides and to see another talented program come in here and get a nice little tune-up game. But for whatever reason, West Day canceled out. Those two teams will be in the same conference next year.
Right. And we actually saw West Allegheny beat Laurel Highlands a couple years ago in the playoffs down at Washington and Jefferson.
Yeah, they met twice in previous seasons, at least over the last 10 years or so, and Burns with a rip there. And the gap in right center, it's going to go all the way back to the fence. Lancaster around to score. Jakobat rounding third. DeBerry's going to hold him up. Now he's going to go. Throw to the plate, and Bernie's safe.
Bernie ran through the sign. Scotty had him held up, and he actually hesitated and stopped on the way to home plate, but decided to kick it back in and give it a chance. But his speed was able to beat it.
Couple of RBIs there for Burns on the double to right center. It's now 8-1 Laurel Highlands. Runs scored for Lancaster and Jakobat. And now Sankovic will be the 6th Mustang to bat here in this bottom half of the 5th inning. Now the lead up to 7. Mustangs get 3 more across here. That would do it.
Well, yeah, and Burns in scoring position here. With one of the top hitters in the WPL, Travis Sankovic, coming to bat.
2 outs in the inning First pitch to Sank, misses high and outside for ball one. Now the meat of the order coming up here for the Mustangs as well, with McManus and Edenfield scheduled up behind them. Look at McManus, he's 3 for 3 on the day. The homer and a couple of singles, 3 total RBIs.
Yeah, having a great senior day, and looks like the Leopards going to ride McCullough here.
Sankovic fouls it off.
Nobody warming up for them in the bullpen.
And you'd actually have the luxury of throwing some other arms if you needed to, with no other game scheduled. Again, I don't know if anything else, we haven't heard if anything else has been added on the left side for later on this season, but according to the schedule that we got, this is their final regular season game. Next pitch to Sankovic, popped up again in foul territory. Out of play on the left side.
Well, I think the, the Mustangs playing a couple other games this week, I think it's critical to keep seeing live pitching.
I agree.
Prior to the playoffs. I mean, you could practice all you want, but if you're not seeing live pitching and, you're not going to let your pitchers throw a lot of breaking pitches in practice and things like that, I just think it's great that you keep on playing up until the playoffs.
Well, breaking ball there will strike out Sankovic to end the inning. So the Mustangs add a few more on, and after 5, it's Laurel Highlands 8 and Belle Vernon 1 here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
2 runs scored at the bottom of the 5th. Laurel Highlands moving to the top of the 6th. It's now Laurel Highlands 8 and Belle Vernon 1.
Back here for the top half of the 6th, Logan Salega, Josh Hoffman, and Jordan Hartman due up for the Belle Vernon Leopards. Laurel Highlands now leading by 7. First pitch swinging there from Salega, and charging and getting Evan Voighton from left field.
Number 19.
Yeah, Voighton.
Salega.
Nice job there. Got a great jump on the ball. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Mustangs.
This half inning being brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy, located inside the Peachin Superfood Mart.
Yeah, 18 pitches for Lancaster. He'll take those quick outs. Somebody warming up in the Belle Vernon bullpen, or at least tossing.
Lancaster breaking ball missing low there to Hoffman. Hoffman 0 for 2 today. Struck out swinging back in the 1st inning. Flew out to left field back in the 4th inning last time up.
And as we mentioned, Belle Vernon going to have a bunch of starters coming back here next year, Brian. The left side of their infield, plus their second baseman, as well as 2 outfielders and a catcher.
It was 6 seniors to graduation. And loosening up down there, Dylan Bradley for Belle Vernon, number 2.
And a pretty young squad, as we mentioned. Labuda, only a sophomore. Huffman, junior. Greco, a freshman.
Bradley's a sophomore as well.
Yeah. So Belle Vernon, like I said, they always have a good program, and I'm sure they're going to be early picks next year to do well in this section.
Ground ball here to short. Sank is there. Throw over to first to McManus to retire Hoffman. 6-3 for the second outs of this top half of the 6th. I mentioned some of the Laurel Highlands past playoff history. Again, missing out last year, 9-10 regular season. First round win over Ambridge back in 2016, 4-0. Lost to Char Valley in the quarterfinal round. Lost a tough first round game, and you talked about some of the heartbreak at Mount Pleasant over the years to Indiana, 11-1 back in 2015. That game was played at Mount Pleasant.
Right.
Went 16-5 during the 2014 campaign. Lost a 5-3 decision against West Allegheny. That game was played down at W&J. missing out on the postseason from 2011 to 2013, playing 2 of those 3 years in WPIL's largest classification. Mustangs had just a pair of conference wins during that time, both over Albert Gallatin. The one was a 15-inning win.
Well, I hate to tell you, I saw all those games those 2 years.
Your son was playing back then?
My son was playing, and they had gotten moved up to Quad A, and we saw some great ball players. Actually, kid from Norwin, Matajevic kid, he actually got drafted by the Astros last year. We saw some prime players.
Little chopper foul there from Jordan Hartman. Mustangs made the playoffs, lost another game up at Mount Pleasant to Trinity back in 2010, 3-1. Had a first-round win against Hampton back in 2009 before losing to Moon in the quarterfinal round in a shootout game, 17-7. Had a first-round win in 2008 over Steel Valley, lost again to West Allegheny in the quarterfinal round, 9-6. And, of course, that 2017 heartbreaking loss to Blackhawk. That game was at Gateway High School. That was the year Laurel Highlands had a first-round playoff bye. And were heavy favorites against Blackhawk. Lost that game at Gateway High School.
Well,
I know they used Ethan Mildren in relief. Who was the senior pitcher that day?
Ooh, good question.
I know it's on the tip of my tongue. Barry should know.
Might have been. Didn't they start J.C. Myers?
Yes, Myers. That's correct.
Right.
Mr. Myers. Ground ball there to third. Arminio to McManus to end the inning. 1-2-3. Top half of the sixth. Move to the bottom of the sixth. Still 8-1. Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon. Here on the Radcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
No running scored at the top of the sixth. Score still stands. Laurel Highlands 8 and Belle Vernon 1.
We're back here at the Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. New pitcher for the Belle Vernon Leopards, Trevor Schrock, coming in from left field. Dylan Bradley moving out to left to take Schrock's place. The Mustangs scheduled to have up Mason McManus, Ian Edenfield, and Chad Petrus. And Tony, we were reminiscing last half inning about some of the Mustang teams of the past. We mentioned J.C. Myers, who started the playoff game for the Mustangs against Blackhawk back in 2007. Of course, J.C.'s dad, Jimmy, a longtime Laurel Highlands baseball supporter, passed away a few years ago.
Right.
Really sad to see. And his brother, Garrett, is on the Laurel Highlands team right now.
Right. Garrett, one of the promising underclassmen for the Mustangs. He's going to get a lot of work, too. He's a left-hander just like his brother J.C. was, and he's a nice pitcher. So, as we said, the Mustangs going to have a lot of arms coming up next year to replace a lot of these seniors.
Mason McManus trying to keep his 3-for-3 afternoon going. Fouls off the first pitch there from Schrock. McManus, an RBI single back in the first inning. Solo home run over the left field wall back in the third inning. Another RBI single back in the fourth.
Yeah, having a great day, as we mentioned.
0-1 from Schrock, missing high. Again, it's 8-1 Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon. Mustangs scoring 2 in the first, 3 in the third. Add another run on the fourth, and then 2 in the fifth.
McManus trying to make it a 4-for-4 day.
Fouls another one off.
Schrock, he's got a little giddy up here.
Yep.
He's a senior as well.
Getting an opportunity to throw late here for the Leps.
And one of the captains of the team. Ian Sabalek.
Count 1-2. Breaking ball. McManus goes at chase and hopped away, though, from the catcher. Throw down to first in time, so it goes in the books as a strikeout. Good job there from the catcher, Naylor. Make the throw down at first to Hartman. Now Chirac comes into the game and records a strikeout on McManus. Now Ian Edenfield will come to the plate. Ian struck out swinging first time up, doubled, picked up an RBI, and scored a run back in the third inning, reached on an error in the fourth.
And got stranded in the fourth.
Another busy afternoon for Mr. Edenfield. Take the first pitch, a breaking ball there from Chirac. Counted 0-1. And Jerry Dupay here on the TV side on the South Union Township Sports Network. Nick Parchak back in our Uniontown Hospital studios on the radio side. Swing and a miss again from Edenfield. Nick will be yielding here in just a couple of minutes for Jerome W. Shell III, who'll come in and run the Penguins game tonight. Jerome, another Penn Stater there, Tony.
Can't be enough of them, Brian. I know you don't like to hear that since you're a Buckeye, but...
0-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball, missing low and outside. Jerome also a big Pens fan. Actually saw him at the game. No joke, Tony. The other night, he was sitting in the second row and he had his face painted, just like Putty. Said, you got to support the team. Jerome was a big Penn State guy, big Pens guy.
Good for him.
Fouled off there from Edenfield again.
Die-hard fan.
Nice
probably
to get into
TV.
the game like that.
Probably was on TV, I'm guessing.
I was at the game myself, so I didn't get a chance to see if Jerome was there. I didn't go back and watch the DVR or anything, but
no.
We can maybe find out in between innings if Jerome made the TV.
He'll know.
1-2 on the way. This one golfed into right field, and it will drop in front of Max Godin out there in right. He actually slips on the cut and had to dive back to the first base bag.
Yeah.
I got lucky there. It wasn't close play coming back in.
First baseman Hartman laughing at him. Tried to make the turn. Thought he was going to go to second.
Number 13,
thought better of it.
Petrus.
Now Chad coming to the plate. 2 for 3 today.
Mustangs now in double figures with hits with 10.
Chad a couple of RBIs as well. Swings the first pitch here. Well hit ball in a left center field. And the catch will be made by the center fielder, Logan Salega. Edenfield was almost to the second base bag. Now it jogs back. Petrus did a good job there to put in the gap, but Salega on his horse and made the grab.
Well, Salega did a nice job calling off Bradley. Bradley would just come into the game. Covered some ground too, but Salega, he covered a lot of ground to get to that ball. Nice job.
2 outs here in the inning. This half inning may be brought to you by Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, helping local people with their legal matters since 1976. Regardless of your legal problem, Davis & Davis promises you personalized, friendly, hometown service. Evan Voighton taking the first pitch here for a strike. Second at bat of the game for Evan, grounded out 4-3 to lead off the bottom half of the fifth. Came into this game with a .364 average on the season and 8 RBIs.
Get taken. Swung at the first pitch the first time up, grounded out to second base.
Count now even at 1-1.
Pitch must have caught the inside corner.
Breaking ball there, swing and a miss. Count now 1-2.
Hartman's still holding Edenfield on. Kind of surprised.
And an 8-1 game.
Yeah. Think you'd play behind just to try to get some outs, get back in and try to score some runs.
Leps will be down to their final 3 outs in the top half of the 7th. And Voighton strikes out here to end the bottom half of the 6th. So as we head to the top half of the 7th, 8-1, Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon here in the Ratcliffe Law Firm High School Sports Day on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
No runs scored at the bottom of the 6th. Moving now to the top of the 7th for Highlands 8 and Belle Vernon 1.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Back here at Landman Field, the Belle Vernon Leopards down to their final 3 outs. Laurel Highlands leading at 8-1 over the Leps. New pitcher for the Mustangs, Travis Stankovic. Nate Zimkoski into the game for the first time, playing shortstop here today for Laurel Highlands.
Number 14.
And as soon as we're done here, we'll send you out to the Penguins radio network on the radio side. Pens and Caps, Game 6. Penguins trying to stay alive.
I know that Bruce and Pat Arminio left the game early. They're actually on their way to the Penguins
Good
game.
for them. Good for them.
They were here for the senior day activities, and they were able to pick up a couple tickets, and they're on their way to the game.
Sent foul by Chris McCullough. Who's up there now?
Petrosky?
Logan Petrosky, 35.
Okay.
So Petrosky behind 0-1. I know Coach DeBerry, he's been a big Penguin supporter over the years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. They know how to play. They need to play well today.
1 on the way. Boy, Sank has a lot of speed on that pitch.
Yeah,
the fastball.
He's a good reliever for the Mustangs.
I'd like to see them use Sank as the playoff closer.
Well, you have
if
to.
needed.
Yeah, you're going to have
the way he pitches.
Right.
Perfect in the relief role. Foul tip there by Petrosky.
Now, this is the first time I've seen him pitch in person. Does he have a breaking ball, or is it just all heat?
He'll use it occasionally, but I'd say 80 to 90% heat.
Yeah, well.
He'll mix it in if needed.
Now, you're going to have to keep him off balance, that's for sure.
And 2 strikes on Petrosky, count at 1-2. Fastball just missing high there. He came on in relief and pitched very well against Greater Latrobe on Monday. But I think 3 innings of relief against the Wildcats.
Right. Yeah, and he pitched in another game in relief, too. I can't remember which one it was.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He's comfortable up there, too, and confident, which is what you want in a reliever. Doesn't seem like he really lets too much bother him out there.
Well, he knows that he's a shortstop by trade, so he's just giving you some innings. And
he's productive, though. He's doing what you need him to do.
Eating up some innings for the Mustangs.
Naylor now at the plate. Takes the first pitch for a strike.
Naylor has done a nice job behind the plate for the Leps today. As we mentioned, he's coming back. He's only a junior.
Now the 0-1. Another one in there for a strike.
Pennsylvania, they haven't made it to where you can skip that year of eligibility yet, like in college. So he'll be back for the Leopards next year.
I don't think you want to skip your final year of high school.
No.
0-2 on the way. Hard ground ball here on the left side. Arminio makes the play. A little wide throw, though, coming over. And reaching first safely is Cole Naylor.
Well, he made a nice pick, but he saw that Naylor had some speed. He tried to hurry to throw and just drew McManus off the bag.
E5?
Yeah, we're going to have to give him an E5. Even though he's my nephew, I guess I got to give him a knucklehead.
Number 25, Max Godin.
Now Max Godin coming to the plate.
Yeah, he probably had a little more time than he thought, but he did make a nice backhanded stab there.
Yeah, it's 8-1, Mustangs over the Leps. First pitch high and inside there to Godin.
Godin has a hit today, one of the 3 hits for Belle Vernon.
Single to center field back in the 3rd inning.
Mustang pitching's been pretty tough today against the Leps.
Another strike there from Senk. Count now even at 1-1.
And I know you talked to Coach DeBerry, but I'm sure he hasn't given you any indication of who he's throwing tomorrow.
Has not told me as of yet. And Senk hitting. Got it in the back there. That was a breaking ball.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe that's why he throws a fastball all the time. That one kind of hung inside. Didn't have a whole lot of snap to it. So Godin on base for the 2nd time in this game. As you mentioned, he singled in the 3rd. Struck out in the 5th, and now on in the 7th, hit by a pitch.
Trevor
Schrock at the plate.
Schrock also with one of the only hits for Belle Vernon.
Single to left field in that third inning. Actually went back-to-back hits with Godin and Schrock. Lep still down 7, though, at 8-1. One out here in the top of the 7th. Again, we'll have the Mamarukas Pizza postgame show on the way next. Now wrap things up and get you out to Penguins hockey on the radio side. I'll have a recap on the TV side as well.
And we just want to let you know that Excella Health knows how important shoulders, knees, and ankles are to an athlete. Whether you're on the gridiron, under the boards, or walking a balance beam, being on the sidelines is never an option. Excella Health has a trusted team of orthopedic surgeons and athletic trainers right here in Westmoreland County.
There's a throw over to first, and safe. Back on the bag is Godin.
To learn more about Excella Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, visit us on the web at excellahealth.org. That's excellahealth.org.
Runners going. This ball lined to right. And a grab made out there by Ian Edenfield. And now getting back to their stations are Godin and Naylor. Edenfield doing a good job out there in right field.
Yeah, that ball was hit hard by Schrock. Actually thought it was going to get in the gap there for a minute. Edenfield, nice play. Almost doubled Naylor off second base.
Got 2 outs here in the inning.
Number 5, Nolan Labuda.
Belle Vernon down to their final out in this game. Nolan Labuda coming to the plate.
Labuda so far today sacrificed in the 3rd. Got a base hit in the 5th. Stole a base but was stranded at 2nd.
Leps completing their 3rd time through the order, trying to keep it going. Throw over to first. Back safely there, Godin.
And McManus trying to sneak in. These guys trying to get home to watch a Penguin game.
Yep. Yeah, another hour or so.
They got time.
Only need 1 out.
Well,
next pitch to Labuda, swing and a miss. Count 0-2.
Yeah, I would think that they probably have some kind of senior day festivities up at the school.
No, they've had some food I think they got going on up there grilling out.
Okay. Yeah, normally they do something else afterwards, meal-wise.
Now the 0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll do it. Laurel Highlands a win here this afternoon, improving to 14-2 overall. Belle Vernon with a loss, dropping to 11-5. Your final score, 8-1. Laurel Highlands over Belle Vernon. Back to tell you all about it on the Mamarukas postgame show here on WMBS, the Triple I High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
No runs scored at the top of the 7th for Belle Vernon. Our final score is the Mustangs of Laurel Highlands 8 and the Leopards of Belle Vernon 1.
Every person who's been injured, when they come in, has an expectation that their case is important, and it is to us. We take these cases very seriously.
So that experience that we have is unique also because we have experience in these communities, in Uniontown, in Washington, in Waynesburg, in these court systems.
You don't have to go to Pittsburgh to be represented by attorneys who don't know their way around your community.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Back here wrapping things up from Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs an 8-1 win over the Belle Vernon Leopards. Again, our postgame show being brought to you by Mamarukas Pizza on Barton Mill Road in Uniontown. Here's Tony with a game recap.
All right, for the Mustangs scoring 8 runs. 2 runs in the 1st, 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 2 in the 5th for their total of 8. Belle Vernon scoring their lone run in the 5th inning. Winning pitcher today was Ian Edenfield. Edenfield pitched 4 innings, had 2 strikeouts, gave up 2 hits, no bases on balls, and no runs. The relief effort of Greg Lancaster and Travis Sankovic held it down. For the Mustangs, hitting-wise, Mason McManus was 3 for 4 with a big home run and 3 RBIs. Ian Edenfield had 2 hits. Chad Petrus had 2 hits and an RBI. Richie Mehall with a triple and an RBI. And Josh Burns with a ringing double, and he had 2 RBIs as well for the Mustangs. So pretty much spread around here today, Brian. A lot of 8 runs. Nice job by the Mustangs. and some timely hitting throughout this game. So they played pretty well today, and they're getting ready for their playoff stride.
For sure, and it was always nice to see a game with no injuries. If you happen to get banged up, give the Centers for Rehab Services a call. The leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns on Wayland Smith Drive, or call 724-437-7500. The Centers for Rehab Services relief is closer than you think. Laurel Highlands an 8-1 win. Again, the Mustangs back in action tomorrow against Uniontown, 7 o'clock start. Our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show on the air at 6:45. We're back with a final word from Laurel Highlands High School, both on the radio and the TV side, here on WMBS, the True Live High School Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Tonight's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, Gary Smith and their staff. I'm Tony Anola with Brian Morozak and Jerry Dupay, and this has been a South Union Township Sports Network presentation.